So in this video, we'll solve some math problems about motions. The first question is, a bullet after penetrating 0.04 meter of a wall loses half of its speed. How far will the bullet penetrate the wall afterwards? So first of all, I draw the full concept. Here is a bullet, and this bullet, and this is the wall. This is the wall. After hitting this point, here the actually let us consider the initial velocity of the bullet is v0, and it says that after penetrating 0.04 meter, like after penetrating 0.04 meter means this point, the velocity or the speed wall loses half of its speed. So bullet loses half of its speed. So that means it will now if the speed is v0, then the last velocity will be v0 by 2 after penetrating 0.04 meter. So I have to find out what is the how far will the bullet penetrate the wall afterwards. So how far it will go afterwards, like how far it will be go this. So let us think that will be penetrated x meter afterwards. So first of all, there is two part. One is when the velocity decreases to half, and after how far it will be go. So we know one formula. The formula is v equals to v0 square plus 2as. So first of all, in our first step we will get the information we can get from this whole scenario. So here I can find that the initial speed or initial velocity equals to v0 The final velocity equals to, we know after penetrating 0.04 meter it decreases to half. So the final velocity v will be half of the initial velocity, or v0 by 2. It penetrates 0.04 meter. So the displacement or distance s equals to 0.04 meter. We know when a bullet hit a wall, it will decrease its acceleration. With the decreasing acceleration is known as deceleration. So first of all, we need to find out what is the deceleration. So if the deceleration is a, so the whole equations will be, we know v equals to v0 square plus 2as. Here v equals to v0 by 2 whole square. v0 square equals to v0 square plus 2a, and the value of s is 0.04 meter. If I solve this equation, then the acceleration will be 3 v0 square by 0.32. 3 v0 square by 0.32. So we found the acceleration, it will be minus. The acceleration is minus 3 v0 square by 0.32, or if I say the deceleration will be the okay, let me represent it as a prime. So the deceleration will be the 3 v0 square by 0.32. When we use the term of deceleration, we need not use the minus sign. But if we don't use the term deceleration, then we have to use the minus sign. For the acceleration, it will be minus, but for deceleration, we don't need to put minus sign forward, minus sign in front of this value. So we done the first step. We found out the acceleration of this bullet when it penetrated the wall. Now we done our first step. we done our first step. Then the second step is when the when the after penetrating 0.04 meter, now the after penetrating 0.04 meter, its velocity is v0 by 2, and this is the initial velocity for our second part. And our question says that how far will the bullet penetrate the wall afterwards. So with after going x, we know the final velocity will be 0, because the bullet is stuck on the wall after penetrating x meter. So after penetrating x meter, the final velocity will be 0. So we found two information. The initial velocity v0 equals to our v0 by 2, and the final velocity is 0 meter per second, and the acceleration is meter per second square. And we know the acceleration of the wall is, or the declaration of the wall is, if I, as I said, is acceleration, so it will be minus 3 v0 square by 0.32. Now I have to find out what is the distance it covered after penetrating 0.04 meter. I said that it penetrated x meter. It penetrated, let after 0.04 meter, it penetrate x meter. So we know this this formula. So the formula is v equals to v0 square plus 2as. So we found out that vs equals to v minus v0 square by twice a. If I put all the value of v0 s, v0 and a, I will find out s equals to 0.0133 meter. So the answer is, after penetrating 0.04 meter, it will penetrate 0.0133 meter the wall afterwards. So this is our answer. So what is our answer? And our answer is 0.0133 meter. So we solve our first problem. Now coming to the second problem. The second problem states that a train starts from the rest with an acceleration of 10 meter per second square, parallel to this a car starts at the same time with a uniform speed of 100 meter per second. When will the train overtake the car? So it states that a car is moving at 100 meter per second uniform speed, and a train, this is the car and this is the train. A train starts from the rest, so the initial velocity v0 will be 0 as it starts from rest, has an acceleration of 10 meter per second square, and it also go parallel to the car. So our question says that when this train overtake this car. So first of all, we say that after x meter, the train will overtake the car after x meter. So I can say that let after x meter, the train will overtake the car, and when this happen, the time will be t second. The time will be t second. So we let the x meter and t seconds. Now let me remove this thing. Now we know when after t second for there will be for car and for train. So we'll derive two equations for car. After t second, after t second, the car will be go x meter, go x meter. So we can say that as the car is moving at uniform speed, we know the equation is s equals to vt, where v is the uniform velocity. So by the help of this we can say that x equals to vt, and the v is here, the v is 100 meter per second, so we can say that 100 t. And for the train, we know the train is moving from the rest with the acceleration of 10 meter per second square. We know the equation is for the length for the displacement is s equals to v naught t plus half of at square. Here, as v naught is equals to 0, as it starts from rest, we can write this equation as x equals to what should I write? X equals to, as v naught is equals to 0, so the whole term will be 0, and here the rest is half of, here the acceleration is 10 meter per second square, so we can write that 10 into t square equals to 5 t square. So this is our equation 1, this is our equation 2. So here if I equivalent this equation, we can write 100t equals to 5 of t square. We can write 100t equals to 5 of t square, or we can write that 100 equals to 5t, 100 equals to 5t, or t equals to 20 seconds. So we find out that after 20 seconds the train will overtake the car. So we found out the time, and I have to find out when will the train overtake the car. So I find out the time. So this is that after 20 seconds the train will overtake the car. That's all for today's video. For next lecture we will solve another problem of linear motion. Thanks for supporting us. Please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Thank you.